Recording in progress.
And I was carrying it in the shorts or what?
You don't know
We
the
had
kid was
pockets.
No.
You
Except
thought you were
in the
sticking it.
back. And so I put it down on the counter. And I come home and what are you doing? And it's usually happens to me. Luckily my daughter. Yeah. Got her.
Find it.
And it showed it was off Civil War. So I said, Home Depot.
All right, let's get going. Megan, go ahead and turn it on.
Yep, it's on, we're good.
It's on. Oh, okay. All right, it is now 6:30 PM. I'd like to call to order the Fenton Township Board meeting on this Tuesday, the 7th day of July, 2026. I ask everyone to please stand for the opening prayer and the Pledge of Allegiance. Trustee Gopal, will you lead us?
Yes, sir, thank you. Heavenly Father, bless us as we gather here tonight. Help us to nurture the bonds of our community. Guide us to make decisions in the best interest of the township and its residents. We pray for an end to the conflicts in the world today. Continue to look over and bless our community and country. We ask these things in your most holy name. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
As always, thanks, Mark. Appreciate it. Clerk Krug, will you please call the roll?
Yes. Lorraine,
Present.
Reed,
Here.
Clark,
Here.
Krug is present. Kessler is absent. Gopal,
Here.
Kessler is absent, and Tucker is absent. You have five members present.
We have a quorum. All right, I'd like to note for the record that we have our Township Attorney, Jack Belzer, our Assistant Manager, Megan Gito, our Zoning Administrator, Mike Deem, Fire Chief Ryan Bolts, our Assessor, Julia Wilson, and Operations Manager, Tom Broker, are present this evening. Additionally, our Township Engineers are present via Zoom. Do you see them up there?
No.
No, I don't.
They are not there? I'm sure they will
Hello.
reach you.
Oh.
Oh, there you are, Melissa.
Yes.
All right, thank you. All right, Megan, will you detail those procedures for those attending tonight's virtual meeting?
Certainly. To the members of the public attending tonight's meeting, in person or via Zoom, please be advised that this meeting is being recorded to be shown on public access television Spectrum Channel 191. Recorded meetings are also posted on the Fenton Area Community Television YouTube channel. For those attending via Zoom, we ask that you keep your microphone muted until we reach the portion of the meeting where public comment is allowed. For tonight's meeting, there is a public hearing on the Torrey Ruth Channel Improvement Special Assessment District, during which public comment will be taken. All other public comment will be taken near the end of the meeting. Meeting materials are available for download on the township's website at fentontownship.org.
All right, thanks, Megan. Moving on to the first business order is the approval of the agenda. Are there any requests tonight to amend tonight's agenda? I do. We do have two board members that are absent this evening. I think it makes sense to move the proposed Miller Industries zoning amendment to the next meeting so the full board can be present. Jack, what's your thoughts on that?
In order to pass any amendment like that, you need a majority of the whole board. So you need 4 people to pass anything relative to that. And this is, needless to say, a very important issue to a lot of people. My suggestion, my recommendation is just put this off till the next meeting and try to ensure that you have all your board members here, because whatever you're gonna do with it, you need 4 votes. If you pass it, don't pass it, whatever. Well, if you don't pass it, it doesn't pass, but if you're gonna vote it down, it takes 4 members because it is an ordinance, zoning ordinance amendment.
Okay. Well, the second one I would recommend, if we're going to amend the agenda, if we don't want to, that's fine, is that we take the proposed zoning amendment to be removed, the IFT also, the industrial facilities exemption request, because there's no sense in doing anything with that, not even requesting a public hearing if we're not going to vote on the proposed ordinance. You see what I'm saying? We can't give an IFT if we haven't given.
If we're gonna do that, I would suggest we postpone both of them.
That's what I mean. I'm gonna take them both off the
And
agenda.
basically, those are the only 2 action items.
No,
that
we've
we
got another
have.
one. No, we got more.
Well, I know, but,
Yeah.
yeah, the big important ones, not that the others aren't, I can see that interpreted, they're all wrong.
All right.
Just for the public, they still have a right to address the board relative to that. 'Cause
Yeah.
they can talk about anything they want, like how I park my car if they want, but, yeah, so the board can still have the comments on that, but I just think you ought to have your whole board here.
Postpone.
Yeah.
Do we know if we're gonna have a whole, or is,
Mark, on, full disclosure, I do not.
okay.
I mean, because Rob is up north, he lost an engine on his
I thought
Tesla.
John said he was gone for a.
No, he's back next week.
Oh, yeah.
Or his next meeting, he's back.
Okay.
Rob should be back, so I guess I could ask, Bill, you gonna be here?
Yeah.
I'm gonna be here.
I'll be here.
Christine will not be here, so we will not have a full board. There's nothing I don't think we can do to this evening.
So even
I
if
think we
it's
should-
voted today and it doesn't pass or fail, just by maybe a 3-2 vote, it still would be voted again on.
You
again
could
with the
still
full
vote
board.
on it again later, yes.
We would have to vote on it again later,
Well,
correct?
If
'Cause
it
it doesn't-
fails, but ideally, I think you ought to have a vote yes or no, one way or another, so it's real clear. I mean, if it doesn't pass, it's kind of in limbo out here. So
Right.
my suggestion would be that somehow or another, 4 votes up or down, or whatever, however you want to call it.
So postponing these 2 items till the next meeting.
Well, she
Uh,
won't be here next week.
Right. Sorry, I'll be gone on business.
Okay. Well, does the board want to entertain it without, in
Well, I'm
Christine's
just saying,
absence?
if we want a full board,
We need,
I'm just trying to, you know, I don't want them to come to every meeting and we're not.
I agree 100%.
Doing anything.
So,
I mean, if we're.
it's not,
I mean, 2 people is worse than 1, of course, but, I mean, bro, this is a pretty important issue to a lot of people.
the more people we can have here for the board, I think it's important to listen to the people. We've got 2 that are missing, I think it's important. So at this point, what we can do, if Christine's not gonna be here, I can talk to board members or whatever, and we can make a decision where we wanna put it on the next agenda meeting or the following one. But at this point, right now, I don't see any sense in moving forward. So I'd like to just entertain a motion to approve the agenda as amended, or I'll entertain a motion, so if somebody would like to make a motion.
Motion to approve.
I'll second it.
All right, motion's been approved and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing none, Clerk Krug, will you please call the roll?
Clark,
Yes.
Kessler's absent, Reed,
Yes.
Gopel,
Yes.
Tucker's absent, I vote yes, Lorraine,
Yes.
this is. Go ahead, it passes.
All right. For those of you that were here for those 2 items, certainly can stay. You can talk to us after the meeting, but I hope you understand, I think it is the best move for the board to be a full board here. And even if we acted on it tonight, unless it was 4-1, it wouldn't matter, because it would just have to go to the next meeting anyway. So,
They can certainly address it in public comment, too, though.
yes, that's what I mean.
Yeah, okay.
When I just said that.
You said after the
Yeah,
meeting, but they can do it.
I mean-
Okay.
At the end of the meeting, sorry, at the end of the meeting. So if anybody that wants to stay to address the board, if not, we will post those 2 items when it's gonna be on the next agenda. And if you want to, we can even have somebody from the office call you if you're here and something like that. So it's certainly posted. Sorry about that. All right, let's move it down. All right, next order of business is meeting minutes. Included in the packet are the meeting minutes from the June 16th regular meeting. Are there any corrections or requested revisions to these meeting minutes? Hearing none, the meeting minutes stand approved as presented. Moving on to expenditures, are there any questions from the board regarding any of the invoices? Hearing none, okay, I will entertain a motion regarding the payment of expenditures totaling $1,045,475.31 for payment.
I'll move for approval.
Second.
All right, motion's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing none, Clerk Krug, will you please call the roll?
That was for,
Expenditures.
that's what I thought. Reed,
Yes.
Gopel,
Yes.
Tucker and Kessler are absent, Lorraine,
Yes.
I vote yes, Clark,
Yes.
motion passes.
Thanks, Bob. All right, expenditures stand approved as presented. Moving on to next business in order is public hearings. This is the Torrey Ruth Channel Improvement Special Assessment District. This is the hearing of necessity. Assistant Manager Gito, will you explain?
Yep, so at the June 16th board meeting, we adopted a resolution to initiate the proceedings for a new special assessment district to dredge and remove materials from the channel at Torrey and Ruth, so it's more navigatable for watercraft, because over time, watercraft activity and erosion have created sediment buildup. So there's a contract proposal that was obtained by property owners to remove the spoils and do the restoration, and that comes to a cost of $125,810, which would be spread over a 10-year period. That's basically where we're at. We do have
The bids were obtained from
the property owner.
Property.
From a property
So
owner, yes.
I just wanted to make sure.
Yep.
I think you said that, but I just wanted to make sure.
Yep. And then we did have one written objection.
I was gonna ask you that after I read the next.
Yep.
Let me move on. All right, thanks Megan, I appreciate it. All right, the board will accept public comment on the following: the creation of the special assessment district, the proposed boundaries of the district, the necessity of the improvement, the plans for the improvement, and the cost estimates for the improvement. Megan, do we have any written comments?
Yes.
Okay, can you read that?
Yep, so we have a written comment from Mr. Waters, and it states, "My name is Doug Waters. I reside at 12121 Corey Road, parcel number 0611-502-0041. I heard that recently the dredging project was moving forward. I did submit a letter prior to the October 7th, 2025 public hearing on the subject expressing my concerns and did attend the meeting. Even though the project appears to be in motion, I feel the need to reiterate some of my concerns and a few things that I feel are important to note. Environmental and project concerns. Dredging could be devastating to all of the slow-moving, bottom-dwelling marine life. There is a large turtle population here. If they survive the dredger, they would possibly be pumped into one of the onshore collection bags, not knowing if they would be able to get out. There are other companies out there that can remove silt and muck with less invasive processes, excuse me, and would deal with each resident individually. I believe there may be residents that don't realize the amount of marine life and activity in the channel, maybe because of seawalls and home locations in respect to the channel. This project was initiated by a resident that does not own a boat and hasn't for at least 10 years. Their taxes were lowered, claiming they could not access the lake. Even though the water level was down, the residents were able to access the lake. In the original letter that the resident sent to the Township and the Lake Fenton Property Owners Association was made to sound like things were in crisis. In the same letter, they referred to a dam in the mouth of the channel, which is a much embellished statement. I did enclose a copy. I wish the Township had done a bit more homework before agreeing to this project. I believe that some of what this resident is experiencing, at least at his dock, is inactivity. When the water is stagnant, silt will build up, making it more shallow. I believe the main reason this project was initiated was to keep the property value and saleability up. The home directly north of me recently sold for over $1 million without the dredge. Lake property is at a premium and almost always in demand. Practically every lake or channel, no matter where you go, have places that should be avoided for one reason or another. But once you know where these areas are, you avoid them. Avoiding these areas in the channel is no different. In regards to the actual dredge work on the last house at the west end of the channel that butts up to Torrey Road. On the north side, I don't need or want dredging done. None of my neighbors are affected by my shoreline. I've lived in the same house for over 66 years, and in my opinion, the mouth of the channel is actually getting wider, and the island near the mouth of the channel is getting smaller due to the large pontoon and tritoon activity. Regarding the assessment, I don't believe I should be assessed for something I don't need or want, and I am worried about the impact on the marine life as well as the amount of the assessment when everything is said and done. Some of us are living on fixed incomes. At the October 7th, 2025 meeting, Mr. Lorraine said that those of us who aren't in favor of the dredging will benefit from it. I never did find out what the benefit would be. I assume it's property value, and if I don't have issue with navigation. As I mentioned earlier, the house directly north of me just sold for over $1 million without a dredge. Let the residents who want it pay for it. If the mouth of the channel needs dredging, they can come up with a cost for just the mouth. I would gladly pay my fair share of that amount. Lastly, I'm not sure on the year, but at least 20, 25 years ago, a runoff drain was installed at the west end of the channel that allows the runoff from the road and ditch to enter the channel. When we get heavy rains, it will turn the channel brown from the dirt of the runoff. It probably doesn't amount to much, but over time can still contribute to the silt issues in the channel. Not sure if the township or county is responsible for the drain, but I believe it's worth mentioning in this case. Thank you for your time. Respectfully, Douglas Waters.
Well, it's a long one, Megan. All right, thanks. All right, I'll now open up the meeting for public comment, and again, this is only on the Torrey Ruth Channel Improvement Special Assessment District. Is there anyone present? Yes, sir, just come up if you don't mind coming to the mic and just state your name.
I'm Doug Waters. You just heard my essay.
Oh, okay.
And there isn't much I can add to that, but I just, the question that I had in there was the benefits. If we didn't want the dredge, if I don't have an issue getting in and out of the channel, don't want the, my taxes to be assessed, what is the other benefit to me that you had mentioned in the previous meeting, I think from October 7th, was regarding a neighbor of ours that one of your board members, I don't know who it was, you mentioned, why don't we just let this guy slide, basically. It was Barry Shepherd is who it was, but he doesn't own a boat. He's a neighbor of mine across the channel, and you mentioned to him that he's gonna benefit, but I never did find out what that benefit would be.
I don't remember the conversation.
Okay.
But we don't initiate these.
Okay.
So the township has nothing to do with any of this.
I got you.
It's you, the property owners go out, they get signatures, they do everything, and they come to the
Sure.
board. Only thing that we do here,
Mhm.
we shouldn't comment on whether it's good for you or bad for you. All we do
right.
is set up the special assessment district.
Right.
If the majority of the property owners want to have it done, then that is the property owners that are out there doing that. This board has nothing to do with that.
Sure. But like I said, you did mention, and again,
I don't remember the conversation.
Gotcha.
Why would I comment on something that we have nothing to do with?
Well, you said that he would benefit, and I don't know why that's why I mentioned it in my.
I'll look it up. They're
Yeah.
all on
Good, you know,
YouTube. I'll look
not
it
a
up
big deal,
because
but,
I don't know why I would comment on something that we have nothing to do with.
Okay, but I recollect that. Anyway, I may be wrong, but other than that, I'd just like to say that I don't feel we should be assessed if we're, basically, those of us who aren't, that don't want to be a part of this, we're kind of victim of the circumstances, living on the channel. And it's majority rules in this case, and again, it's one thing to be assessed, and those of us on fixed income, over that 10-year period, there's liable to be tax increases, that kind of thing, and it's going to turn out to be a bit more money, and it's concerning. And again, you heard my essay, so it was my other concerns.
No, I appreciate it, Doug.
Anyway, thank you for listening.
And again, I'll just reiterate, the board doesn't do anything. I mean, we
Okay.
just basically, the property owners come to us and ask the board to put together,
Sure.
a special assessment district. We don't go out, we don't procure bids.
Right. Well, this was just a statement. I understand all that, but this is a statement that you did make, or I'm pretty sure you made, and just wanted to know how it would, you couldn't let somebody basically off the hook once, you know what I'm saying, collectively is if there's 12 of us and you're gonna split the assessment up between 12 of us, you couldn't let this particular person off that does not want to be assessed, he doesn't use the lake.
That's not assessment for me, that's the way special assessments are set up. It has nothing to do with me or
Okay.
anything I would say.
Okay.
We can't make a decision
that's
as a
something as-
board
Sorry.
to say, we're gonna assess 11, but not 12. That's not how special assessments are set up, so it has
Okay.
nothing to do with us.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't make those decisions.
Well, like I say, there was, if you look back in the record, I might be wrong, but it was from the October 7th meeting. Somebody leaned into you and said, can't we just let this guy off the hook? And you said, we can't because he is going to benefit, quote unquote. So,
That's something that probably, because Tom's really good at special assessments, so I usually refer to Tom
It
that's
might
there.
be-
And that's
I don't
probably
remember
what
who it
Tom
was.
would have said, No, what Tom would have said, or I would have maybe said, is that if they benefit, then they gotta be part of the special
That-
assessment
That could be
district.
it.
Well, that had nothing to do with me, that's the
Sure,
law.
well, I just meant, I wasn't.
Well, no,
picking
you're
on you
sitting there making a
personally.
statement that it's me, it's
No,
not
no,
me.
well, but you mentioned to him or whomever, it wasn't to us publicly, but you leaned over and you could hear it through the mic, but you said, we can't let him off the hook because he would benefit.
Which is true.
Okay, well, that's what I was getting at, so.
Okay.
But I'm not sure what that benefit would be. That's what I'm concerned about. What is the benefit to somebody who, other than if you're not interested in this project, but you still have to, you're being assessed. You get where I'm coming from on this?
I understand that, but
Okay.
it has nothing to do with,
Okay,
Maybe,
The board.
for example, if you don't have a driver's license, but there's a special assessment for your street,
mhm,
it doesn't matter, you don't own a car, you don't have a license, you're still gonna get assessed.
okay.
it's no different than when somebody loses an election and the opposite side wins the election, whatever they want to do. That's how the system works. I mean, majority usually, well, doesn't always, but, I mean,
Well, that kind of stuff
again,
is-
we don't have anything to do with
Right,
this.
I understand.
I would say one of your biggest benefits is that on the resale of your home one day, it's gonna be worth a lot.
Yeah,
Because
I-
no one's
you
gonna
know
wanna
what?
buy a lakefront property that they can't take a boat out, it's
Right,
just.
well, that's the problem, that you can't, and some of this is,
No, I'm with you, I understand 100%.
so, I mean, there's two sides to every story, don't
No,
get me
for
wrong.
sure, for sure.
Thank you, everybody.
Hey,
Thank
not a
you.
problem. All right, is there anyone else? Yes, sir.
My name is Victor Shepard. I'm here on behalf of my father, who resides at 2496. He's 88 years old and unable to attend tonight. I want to present a letter that outlines his objection to the proposal, and I'm allowed to talk everything out. Is that two signed copies? That may not be. I may have given you wrong. Did I give it, what did I give you? Just
Yeah.
one?
No, two.
Okay, great. So, thank you. I appreciate the board's position. I understand about a special assessments. We've spoke to Eagle, we spoke to numerous conservation and environmental groups, but there are a few things I think the board should be aware of, okay? In fact, the whole subject matter that is brought up today is brought about when you see the letter from the resident because of one resident at the base of the channel that secured and it's in Megan's document, it's given to you, it says, one of the issues is the allowance of Eagle to hand out permits to blow sand without seeing the current of the lake. Subsequently, this is causing a dam at the mouth of the channel. This is the priority here, as we've been represented in the last meeting. That individual who's talked to Eagle, just because Eagle gave him a permit or her a permit to do that, does not absolve, if they are blocking traffic within the channel, or they have obstructed any wildlife or anything, it doesn't absolve them from fixing that. It is their responsibility, and the township can step in and say, this needs to be resolved, rather than a special, whatever we're calling this today. So that is an option, okay? As well as every homeowner along the property has their choice where they can pull a separate permit and have, from Eagle, and have their property dredged or whatever they want to do so they can perform whatever work they want to do, okay? The fact of the matter, that is it. Even if you approve this tonight, okay, the fact of the matter, Eagle is going to require all of the homeowners along of it before any issuance or any request for I'll read the exact language to you, before they can submit for a license or anything, every homeowner has to sign a document. That is factual. And if they choose not to sign it, they will not happen. So the question that will be asked is, if a special tax unit is created, what happens if the permit is not issued? That's the first question. Do you give the money back?
Well, we would, Tom, can you address this? I mean, Tom's our expert on special assessment districts. I think I can answer it, Tom, but I don't want to make a mistake. Yes, please.
Sorry.
So to be honest, I've never heard of a requirement where property owners have to sign off before a permit is issued. Not saying it's not true, but I've never heard of that, because the work would be done in the water, which is not the owner's property. So beyond that, we've had similar projects done on the Landingsway, the mouth of the Landingsway channel. And I know property owners did not have to sign off on that, to the best of my knowledge. It was just the contractor obtaining the permit from Eagle to do the work.
What would happen if it was true, we set up the special assessment district tonight, and then it did, Eagle did require, then what will we do with the special assessment district? Just dissolve it?
Well, again, this is, it's a two-step process, so if the board approves, it creates the special assessment district tonight, and then subsequently at the next hearing confirms the special assessment roll, then that roll is set to go on the next tax roll in December. Now, if in the meantime, the Eagle permit cannot be secured, we would simply not put the assessment on the tax roll in December.
Okay, so we can stop the
Oh,
process?
absolutely, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just wanted to confirm that.
Yeah.
So we would do that at the next meeting then, so we could actually, if the majority of the people, Megan, what is the percentage? Tom, you might even know that.
On the petition,
Yes.
I believe it was 9 out of 12 signed the petition, so 70,
Yes.
So 9 out of 12
75%.
have
And
signed it.
the land area was what, 69 point some percent, I think.
So that's way over, you know, as Mr. Tucker says, you know, when
Yeah.
you got that. All right, I just wondered if, because if it is something that we have to comply with, that we could just not,
Yeah,
Put it on the
if
tax
for some reason it doesn't go through, then we just simply wouldn't assess the properties.
okay. Did that answer your question? I mean,
Did I hand you by chance an email from Eagle that was in there?
Two of the same.
no.
So we have an email from Eagle that clearly outlines that every property owner will have to sign it. Now, so, okay, there we go, okay. Secondarily, it is important to note.
Can I ask a question about that?
Yeah.
The message from Eagle, was it made clear to them that it would be a special assessment district and not
It was
just a
made
group
clear.
of homeowners
It was
that were
made
doing
clear.
it on their own?
It was
Okay.
made clear.
Thank you.
Anything traveling in front of the property would have to be, it was clearly outlined. They actually know the property, and they've actually, within the email, clearly outlined that there are wetlands in the area. So there will be significant obstacles at the end of it that will have to be overcome.
Thank you.
Okay,
thank
so,
Did they mention what the objection would be as far as need, because Tom's right, it's a state lake, the state owns the water, where would, and I'm not being accusatory at all, I'm just wondering, where
Don't
would
know.
the permission from the landowner?
it's a permitting issue. It is a permission and issuing a permit. And I can't answer that. All I know is the email is the information we have received. Secondarily, it's important to note that we've talked to multiple conservation groups, and you should know this, that they will do borings and soil samples. And given that the drain comes off Troy Road, and who knows what is drained into that they're gonna be looking for things like PFAS and all the other avenues. So I think it's important for everybody to know that if in fact they do find that, which is, let's hope they don't, okay, then that would not be positive. It would be in a public forum, and it'd be in a public arena. So therefore, it's clear to note that will probably most likely will happen in this event. So I think the board should be aware of that, and I don't need to tell anybody the outcome if that comes public or not. So I think from our standpoint, my father's 88 years old. He doesn't want to be enjoined in this. He is directly across from Mr. Waters, okay? The 4th of July just passed. People have come and gone. I know the homeowners are trying to solve this issue. They believe an issue they have, but it is clearly as a result of one individual at the mouth of the channel that has created this issue. And I understand that there has to be some leeway on boundaries from the board, because in Megan, in the agenda, there is to set the boundaries of the district, okay? I'm not sure how that works or what that is, but we would ask you to be considerate of that and think about it, okay? We fully understand that our rights are that if you do approve it, where we've got to go with this, and we'll plan to go that way, okay? But we thank you for your thoughts, and we thank you for your support. If you need anything, I have copies of what the channel looks like.
Could you provide us with a copy of the email from Eagle?
Sure.
Because what I'm hearing, if this gentleman is right about what Eagle will do, what we're gonna do is a moot point.
I don't think it really matters. If you do it, then it's a different deal.
That's what I'm saying, we're gonna go through all the steps,
I just
and
had it in
if
my hand.
one person objects,
I don't
Help
think,
me out,
I don't
Jack.
have, I don't think you have the option not to do the special assessment based on what Eagle's doing. I mean, you have this before you, and the law requires you to go ahead. But if the work can't be done because of Eagle, then you can't collect the money, or if you do collect any money, you have to give it back.
Let me read it first. I want to read it.
Sure, absolutely.
It appears that not only is the channel in a regulated feature, but regulates wetlands may also be present. A permit from Eagle Water Resources Division would be required for this type of project, but I'm not seeing any applications or permits in our system. Additionally, authorization forms from all landowners whose properties are along the channel would be required for any application review and issuance of a permit.
Well, I mean, if that's the case, then Bob is right. I mean, we can pass this, and you're saying we've got the majority of people and the percentage of, so we're kind of forced to.
Right, you
Okay.
can't alter
And if-
the statute and the
And
procedure.
if Eagle steps in and stops it,
Then-
that's.
Then it
that's-
stops.
That's
And
beyond our.
that's beyond what we can do. Do you understand that? And again, I'm trying to.
We do understand it. We've
What
done
I
a
mean
fair
is
amount of
is
work on
that
this.
right now, since we've been presented and it checks all the boxes, the board's kind of obligated to be able to set up the special assessment district. But if Eagle's gonna stop it, it just stops there. So you're right, it would just stop.
But also, it is our understanding that the board could step in and say that they are obviously obligated if people want it, but out of necessity, there's certain provisions, I don't know those provisions, where they can say it's, I'm not gonna try and be a lawyer, I can't do that, yeah, you know. But the fact of the matter is that there is some leeway of the boundaries of the special assessment district. I know they're trying to drag us along, but is there not any reasonable sense where we could step out? Because Mr. Waters and my father are directly across the channel from each other. And I know there may be some other properties that want to be part of this that are down at the end of the channel, I'm sure. But we don't have a problem, and I'm not sure if there can be a boundary or a consideration for that.
Jack?
What you're requesting would be way out of the ordinary.
Okay.
And that's like if you live at the corner of the street and they're paving the street, but your driveway goes out the other road.
No, I get it. We're not trying to be a lawyer here.
No,
we're just
but
trying-
I'm just saying, what you're suggesting won't work. I mean, when the assessment district is set up, that would fall apart. And I understand what you're saying, because you're at the end, you don't care, the other people further back have the
Get it.
problem.
I get it,
Yeah, that wouldn't work.
yeah.
That would
Yeah.
fall apart.
So I think it's just important you note that the loopholes that will be gone through from the standpoint of environmental and the others, and the potential detriments that could or could not occur. I appreciate your time.
No, Victor, I appreciate it, but, and I know Brittany too, so this would be something that Tom could check on tomorrow and find out what it is, but again, I think as our attorney is saying, we have to go through the process, but that doesn't mean that the process doesn't stop.
We understand that. The question was, what happens with the special assessment if the money's collected in the...
It goes
in-
back. 100% it goes back.
Yeah, we understand it's gonna take a while for Eagle to approve these side of things. It can take up to 6 months to 9 months, okay?
Okay.
So, I mean, there is a significant process that will take place from what we understand, given the wetlands.
So what would happen?
Well, if you do collect money, you have to give it back, but this, I don't know when the special assessment's gonna go on the tax rolls and go out, but any money the township collects, they have to give back. I mean, just
The
like,
entirety of it?
yeah,
So in other words, even if there's expenses outlined for like, the permitting and different things like that? That's the challenges.
well, I don't think it's gonna be some large amount in any event, but the special assessment district, I've not ever had this where there's, some little glitch in just a
Just
little bit, but like on roads, where they go out and they do all this, they set the special assessment district, then the road commission comes out and looks at the roads. Usually the township just eats that money, but it's usually not a lot.
Yeah, okay. I think it's important. The roads are totally different than we're talking about a
Well, but
waterway.
it's all the same process.
Yeah, I understand the process. I get it, but I appreciate your time. Thank you so much.
Vic,
No,
let me
they
ask
do.
a quick question. I mean, in reference to the objection, is it basically the money?
My
you know,
father's 88 years old.
Yeah, and I understand our fixed
Yeah.
income, and
Well, first of all, he hasn't filed taxes in multiple years, you know how little money he makes.
sure, sure.
He's not a rich
and
man
they're
by
a
any
limited
means.
budget, understood. Because I was just wondering, maybe you can go back, or we could go back to the people and just say, hey, if there's two of them that are opting out, are they willing to pay for, additional $2,000?
I think he's a
You
proud,
can't-
I think
you
he's a
can't
proud
do that.
individual.
You can't do that.
I think he's a proud individual. I think he would say, he would rather not eat for a week than do that. I'm over exaggerating, I get that, but the fact is, I think that's who he is. But he stands objected to it. So we appreciate your time. Thank you so much.
Sure.
So what do you say, Megan?
Well, it doesn't necessarily have to be over a 10-year time period. We could do 15,
Well-
depending on what.
I guess I have one more question, because I'm concerned about it, and I can't pick up the phone. I don't think I have Brittany's number in my phone.
Okay.
But you're saying the process, if we've got a written letter here, it should be something we could, within a couple of days, confirm from Brittany, from Eagle, whether the special assessment was set up correctly or incorrectly, or we have to have 100% of those signatures. What would take 6 months? Because, again, Tom, I'm just wondering, if we set the district up today,
Well, just the permitting, because there'll be environmental concerns and all kinds of, at least what we're being
so
told.
for.
I don't know what would
You
be
don't
said.
think they're not gonna start this project for, you're saying for 7 months?
I'm saying it, they're telling us it will take a while to get the permit done. And I don't know if that's real or factual.
I would bet it wouldn't be this year, it's already July. Yeah,
Right.
No, I absolutely wouldn't. I mean, being on Panema, family having a house there, and that took a year for that.
Is
project to
anyone
start.
here that is for this? Or that knows more about it? Because I was wondering if it's something that's gonna take that long, maybe we could, postpone this to the next meeting until we can get some more information and find out. Because I would like to hear if this, if they went out and got the bids and they're ready to roll in 2 weeks.
There's,
Yeah,
I don't know.
I'm not seeing that, it's just.
Jack, can I postpone this for 2 weeks or no?
Well, you can continue.
I can continue.
the public hearing.
Would that,
Listen, we made our case. You have got to do what you got to do. We're asking, you've heard where we're at. I can't tell you what to do. I'm not sure.
well,
what it is.
legally, I'm asking
You
my
can-
attorney.
Right, you can continue that, but
I'm not sure what the outcome changes.
That would
I'll be
be-
honest with you.
that's permissible, for sure. And before you award the contract, whoever's gonna get this contract is gonna have to know what they need.
Right,
And if they need a permit from Eagle, there's no way in the world they can start.
okay.
there is
But-
a line in the proposal that states that they would need to obtain an Eagle permit. It's part of their
Right.
proposal. There is,
That they would have to
that they would
obtain
have to,
that.
that they would
So-
obtain an Eagle permit, yes.
So bottom line is, even if we set up the special assessment district today, if they can't get an Eagle permit, it all goes away anyway. But we've, at least the 7 to 11, the people, or 9 out of the 11 people want it, we're at least, doing what we should do as a board.
But yeah, that's true. but
And
you
approve
can
the
also-
special assessment district, and then if they can't get a permit, they don't get the permit.
Right.
I don't know.
I mean, I'm not familiar with what Eagle requires, but if in fact they require 100%, we ought to be able to find that out with the phone call.
Correct.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what the question, and I'm not trying to be funny, but I don't know what the question was if the answer came back, so somebody should just call Eagle and just ask them, like, okay, here's what we're doing. Do we have to have 100% approval by every property owner?
But if we vote on right now, which we normally do, and we find out,
Isn't this just a public hearing?
hmm?
Are we voting on this tonight?
Well, we have to, if we
Create it.
continue, we have to create it
Create the,
Yeah,
yeah.
the next,
under
the next,
resolution.
right.
Yeah, so it's not gonna happen that quick, but, yeah, I mean, if Eagle requires 100% of the people, that kind of resolves the whole thing. It doesn't matter what we do, but you have to follow the law.
Does it help these folks if I make a motion to continue this action item until the meeting on the 21st?
I don't know if it helps them one way or another. I mean, you can do that.
Well,
I don't think it does.
okay.
Well, if you're saying that Eagle's gonna turn it down, it would help you.
Listen, you're telling us that regardless of the fact if Eagle turns it down, then if you give the money back, I think it's the same we're just bringing information to you in a public forum, that's all we're really trying to do here.
Okay.
I can tell you, when we sort of met originally with the contractor, it was gonna take about a year to pull things together, and this was, I don't know, last fall, I think, or whatever, but, it doesn't happen real quick. So,
Okay.
they may have been able to speed things up somehow, but it's kind of a slow process.
Slow process.
on that.
I totally believe that.
Yeah, especially with Eagle.
So, I mean, I can make a motion to, move the resolution, I mean, to get it going.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. It's gonna.
Well, I'm gonna have to
Nothing's
close
gonna go-
public hearing. Yeah, I'll close the public hearing.
Nothing's gonna go forward, I'm telling you this, we're already in July, I know how state works. Just,
So we're not gonna be hitting anybody with money until everything goes through. So we'll just follow the law as recommended by our attorney. All right, is there anyone else here that would like to comment? And again, we're still on the Torrey Root Channel Improvement Special Assessment District. For or against? All right, hearing none. Is there anyone on Zoom that would like to address the board? And again, just limiting it to the Torrey Root Channel Special Assessment.
Yeah, my name's Dave Brown, I would like to address the board.
Yes, Dave, please go ahead.
And I got a couple comments that might help out on this too. I'm the one that actually, went around and got the signatures, or whatever, Pat was doing it, Pat O'Keefe, and then, I kind of took over. I've talked with all the neighbors, I have talked with Eagle myself, and the contractor. So the contractor, is who I'm listening to, because he does this every day, all day. He said it will take about 4 months, to get the Eagle permit. I did already tell him we have a couple objections. He told me that is no issue. I'm not saying he's right, I'm just telling you that he says it's no issue. They just did, North Road Channel on, Lake Panema last year, and there was people, against that also, right? Of course, you can probably never get 100% of the people to, do this or whatever. So I'm just going by what he says. I don't know that it's a fact. But he said it's 3 months. There's one issue though that, with the Eagle, there's a cost for that permit. So before they'll even start looking at it, you have to put in for that cost, and you do not get that back if they deny it. So I don't know how that would work as far as, that's part of this assessment. So I don't know if we would just get the rest of the money back, but minus that, and we'd all have to split that. I'm also a pro, I believe it needs to be done. The channel, the mouth, and I agree with, the person that said that, a guy poured sand in and it come around the channel and, there's a big island there. I see people, I'm right there at the beginning. I see people get stuck all the time. I agree it's not people like Doug and, Vic and everybody that understands you stay to the left and you can get out. I'm not trying to say you can't. But there are issues. My neighbor that just bought his house for the $1 million that Doug talked about, I totally agree he did. And I'm hoping he's on, he was under the assumption that this was gonna get done, and he would be very disappointed paying that $1 million if it didn't. In the fall, he can't even put his pontoon on his hoist or whatever. So hopefully he's on and he'll comment. I don't know whether he is or not. But it's just, and it is a benefit to everybody because it'll be clear, right? It's muck. And the truth is, channels are, it hasn't been dredged. I mean, my in-laws have owned this house since 1974, and since 1974, nothing's been done, and it needs to be maintained. Between all the leaves and the cottonwoods that are around and everything going in the channel, and like Doug had mentioned, there's water runoff now from the roads that's filling in water. It's getting worse and worse. And it's just something that needs to be done. I don't think anybody on this channel, wants to pay $10,000, but we all understand that, it's sometimes that's what you got to do to maintain it. And I agree, right now people are using it. I'm not trying to say that they can't use it, but it's definitely low in front of a lot of docks. My neighbor's house is for sale right now. He's trying to, people are looking at it saying, oh my God, but he's trying to tell them the same thing, that we're gonna get it cleaned out, don't worry. I'm the one that's considering selling my house in the next year or two. I think for our property value, it really needs to be done. The people across the channel, the people down. There is a wetland, I agree with that, that's out on the edge of the channel. There's an island wetland from what I understand, and I'm just going by the professional. Eagle has not been out yet, but he said that we're gonna have to stay away from there. There's no question. It's not like we're gonna be able to take that island out or anything, and there's no plan to do that. So he believes it's gonna be no issue, getting this permit. But, can I guarantee it? And will he guarantee it? No, he will not. If Eagle comes out and says it's a no-go, it's a no-go. It's a done deal, right? It's a dead, we don't get to do it, And I do have one other last point. And guys, Doug will tell you, I've been looking at a lot of different options along with everybody else. And we did have a person come out that said he can do single areas. The problem is it's muck, okay? So he'll charge, $3,000 to do your area. And I asked him how long it's gonna last. And he said, well, basically maybe a year, and all that muck's gonna fill in and it's gonna find that water line, right? It doesn't stay where it's at. So let's say I get a permit and I dredge out, 4 foot in front of my dock. Well, all that muck's just gonna, as the boats come, it's gonna swell in, and pretty quick I'm gonna be back to that, that level. So that's no good for anybody, to do that, So it's just, it's a bad situation. I agree. I'm not huge on doing it either, and especially my yard's the one that has to collect the soils, right? So it's gonna be a mess in my yard for up to a year. But I just believe that it's something that needs to be done. And I hope you, support the people on this. And if the permit doesn't go through, it doesn't go through. I get it, right? But until we apply, we are not gonna know. And that's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thanks, Dave. Is there anybody else on Zoom that would like to address the board?
Hello, my name is Dan Eichhoff. My wife and I, we just purchased the house right next door to Mr. Brown, and we're very excited to be a part of the community here. But one major component to us purchasing that house is with the understanding that there was a plan in place to collectively get our. Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you. Sorry, somebody else was talking. If somebody else could mute their mics if you're not talking. Thank you, go ahead.
Okay. Again, we bought the house there, very excited to be a part of the community there, but with a major understanding that we were going to participate in this assessment. The previous owner had told us about it, and we hope this does get passed through, because right now we're close to not being able to put our boat on the hoist. And to my understanding, as the summer months or the weeks go by there, we're going to have to take it off the hoist, because we can't have it on the hoist and you won't be able to get it off the hoist. And they did tell us about how to navigate through there, but I got to tell you, it's real shallow right now. And I just hope the board looks at the signatures there, that everybody wants to move forward with this. And I hope this Eagle allows us to do this, because without being able to access the lake like that, it does affect the house values, as we all understand that. And I hope we didn't make a bad investment there, and I hope this gets passed, and I hope Eagle allows us to continue to enjoy this lake for many years.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
All right, no problem. All right, is there anyone else that would like to address the board? This is, again, just on Zoom. Sounds like the way. Anyone else? All right, if we've went, and I've asked everyone that's here present.
If I may, as Megan mentioned, you don't have, this could be 10 years or 15 years. I mean, you can expand this out, so that cuts down the yearly cost to everybody. You know, Megan's 100% right when she said that.
Okay.
What's the downside of extending it from 10 to 15?
More
The
interest.
downside?
More interest.
So,
Yeah.
but it's still gonna be on the owner, it's just a matter of, but they can still pay it off early.
Oh, sure, then no interest, yes.
Tom, how far can we extend it? I know it's supposed to be the life of like a road is 10 years, then you do a 10-year assessment. So I have no idea the science behind a channel.
Right, ideally, the assessment wouldn't be longer than how long the
The
improvement.
benefit.
The improvement lasts, you know, like, if it's a 12-year fix on the road, you don't want a 15-year assessment. In this case, I think 15 would be reasonable. Again, it's just to get, like Jack says, to get the annual installments a little bit lower. The downside is it is more interest, but they always have the opportunity to pay it off at any time to stop any future interest. So 15 would seem reasonable. Beyond that, maybe not, because if it's already, if they're looking to have to do it again before you're done paying it off, then it's not ideal.
Okay.
I see no harm with making it 15 then, because like I said, if people wanna avoid the interest,
It's up to them.
they can do a 10-year payoff as they would anyway.
Dave, are you still online?
Yes, I'm still online.
It sounds like you were one of the initial ones that initiated this. I mean, do you think that would be a problem with the 9 people that have signed on in favor of this to extend this out to 15 years? Because you can pay it off at any time. So if you wanted to pay it in year 1, you could pay it off. You could pay it off before the assessment even starts. Would that help? Or do you think that those people would object to that?
To be honest with you, we never talked about time frame. I think a lot of the people just plan on paying cash, to be honest with you. You know, it was just a few people that had, needed kind of the assessment. I think a lot of people plan on paying you guys off pretty quick. I don't know that for a fact. I haven't talked with the people on time frame. So I can't answer that question. But I don't think anybody be opposed because, like you said, they can just pay it if they want, right?
They
So
can
if that
still pay
helps
it
like
off in
Doug,
10 years if they wanted.
yeah, if that helps Doug and Vic out, I mean, if that, lessens it up a little bit, I know they're against it,
Okay, thanks, Dave. All right, if there's no one else on Zoom, is there anybody else on Zoom? All right, nobody else is on Zoom. I will now close the public hearing. Are there any questions or comments from the board? Do we want to entertain taking it to 15 or leaving it to 10?
Yeah, I'll put that in motion.
Okay,
I don't have an issue with it. I don't see a downside to go 15.
I don't either.
Just at all.
What's the interest rate they're charging?
Megan? Well, we'd have to establish the
Yeah,
assessable
we have to-
assessment.
yeah,
We have to, we
we
don't know
have to
yet.
go out for it.
We gotta go out for it, so we don't know.
I'm in favor of it.
All right, so the resolution, does it state 10 years in the resolution?
Yeah, it does. I'll
Okay.
change it.
Okay. All right, go ahead, make that motion to change that, and then we'll have clerk crew read it.
Sure, I will support a motion to, to change the total cost of the project being
Yeah, it's not in the
125, to 15 years instead of 10.
I don't see what
The term of the special assessment is not decided until you confirm the roll.
Right.
So the resolution, the first resolution before you tonight is simply to create the district.
Okay,
And then the second resolution, if the first one passes, is to schedule a hearing on the roll. But the actual determination of the length of the assessment is done in the resolution that confirms the roll, which is not tonight.
which is not
It's
tonight.
not.
There you go. Good, beautiful. All right, okay, resolution number 2026-14. Clerk Crew, will you please present the resolution?
I'm almost afraid to. Approves the plan at an estimated cost of $125,810 creates the Torrey Ruth Channel Lake Improvement Special Assessment District, which includes 12 properties with frontage on the channel. Directs the supervisor to create a special assessment role, repeals any conflicting resolutions. I will move the resolution.
Second.
All right, motion's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing none, Clerk Krug, will you please call the roll?
Clark,
Yes.
Kessler's absent. Gopal,
Yes.
I vote yes. Pardon me. Tucker is absent. Lorraine?
Yes.
Reed?
Yes.
Resolution passes.
All right. Okay, in anticipation of the adoption of the previous resolution, a special assessment roll has been created, certified, and filed with the Township Clerk. Resolution number 2026-15. Clerk Krug, will you please present the resolution?
Yes, it acknowledges the filing of a special assessment roll with the clerk and its availability for review until the public hearing. Schedules a public hearing on the special assessment roll at the August 4th board meeting. Directs the clerk to publish and mail the notice of hearing according to statute, and repeals any conflicting resolutions. I'll move the resolution.
Second?
All right, motion's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing none, Clerk Krug, will you please call the roll?
Gopal.
Yes.
Tucker's absent. Lorraine?
Yes.
Clark?
Yes.
I vote yes. Reed?
Yes.
And Kessler's absent. Resolution passes.
All right, resolution passes. Dave, it sounds like maybe you could reach out to those that are for and against the project and maybe have a conversation, so when we do set up the special assessment district, when it comes time, that if they're amenable to a longer period of maybe 15 years, you could bring it to us at that time.
Yeah, I can do that. I'm also going to reach out to the contractor. I really want to talk with them about this whole, if we have opposition, because, I mean, obviously we know we have two that are not going for it. Because if it's dead right there, there's really no reason to move this on any farther, right? I mean, I know we did it, but I'm just saying when it comes down to the August meeting, you know, maybe we kill it in August.
Okay?
If he says, yeah, it's 100%, right? Now, he didn't tell me that. I've talked with him about it, but, you know, he deals with it. So let me ask him, and, you know, if they have a email saying, yeah, it has to be 100%, I just don't know what that email is, you know, like if they understand what's going on, that it's just in the waterway, you know, there's no effect to their property or whatever. So I just don't know. But let's find out, you know.
All right, Dave, I appreciate that, and I have a copy of it here. It will be available here at the Township, and if you want to pick that up, I will also have Tom reach out to Brittany Beavers or somebody, Megan, tomorrow you can reach out to Brittany Beavers and find out if she can clarify the language, because there's a little ambiguity in my opinion, but at least we'll have that answer. All right.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, no problem.
I think we've got to be very interested in finding out, Meg, if indeed one person in the district not wanting it, does that stop the process?
According to Eagle, according to this, again, it's a little
Yeah, I know.
ambiguity,
I read it
but you're
too.
right, but that's okay, that's Eagle saying no and it's over.
Well, let's find out before we spend a lot of
We're not
money
gonna-
and time.
We're not gonna do anything until she makes the call.
Okay, just a thought.
All right, moving on to the next business orders reports. We have a single report tonight from our fire chief. Chief Volz, you have 2 minutes.
Now you have a minute 50.
59. Have a good night.
Second quarter report for the year. Total of 141 alarms. We had 28 fires, 22 hazardous situations, 38 medicals, 20 public service calls, 27 no emergency, and 6 law enforcement support. Of those 141, 19 of them were in Tyrone Township. We had 5 fires, 1 hazardous situations, 10 medicals, 2 public service, and 1 law enforcement support. And that is the second quarter, 2026.
Tell us about your new training facility that's moving along.
We just discussed that in the fire committee meeting tonight, public safety committee meeting. Looking at getting a couple more funds to finish up, do some, put a roof on it, and get some walls built inside, and windows and doors. So, we spoke about it at the public safety meeting tonight, and as far as I know, we're moving forward with it, so.
Well, it seemed exciting to me that, Fenton Township's gonna be in a position that we can have our neighboring municipalities be able to participate, train their people right here in our township with something that you put together, Chief, and I appreciate that.
And it's nice, we had 3 40-footers donated, and we just purchased 3 20-footers. They're all stacked up, welded together. Cook Excavating helped us out, get them stacked. We also have a 40-foot by 14 feet in the ground confined space training simulator that's been there for 4 years now. So we get a lot of use out of it. So we'll have our county USAR team there and be training in that. For collapse and confined space, we'll be doing high angle rescue, rappelling, everything, so.
Maybe in your next report, Chief, your next quarterly report, you can bring some pictures.
I'm hoping we're using it by then. So
That would be great.
we will.
I'm
more
sure
than
the
likely-
residents would like to see it.
More than likely have a grand opening of it and get everything set up and have the crews out there and some of the other departments in the county training, so.
Sounds good. Any questions from the chief, from the board? All right.
I congratulate the chief on how well he's picked up the ball and run with it, because this could have stopped easily.
Thanks, Chief.
All right, thank you.
Are there any committee reports to be made? Yes, sir.
Yeah, just an update on the sheriff's department, just to let the board and the public
Oh,
know
good,
what we're
yeah.
kind of looking at. I've been in talks with, well, Captain Murphy and,
Sheriff's
I don't
absent.
know where he's at. So, looks like there's a couple things, as for Sergeant Pritchard's concerns with coverage in the township. We're looking at another deputy, and we would have a total of, what do we have now, 5 or 6? 6. Okay, 6. And 6 is kind of coverage, but I would like, myself, I would like a 7th, just because I know that when we have 6, normally there's 1 or 2 that get misplaced or down or are off for any type of reason. And also, we're looking at a school resource officer. Lake Fenton has one that the school pays for 9 months out of the year, and then when school's out during the summer, which is when we need another deputy anyway, we're in talks, and as long as it stays within our police budget, to kind of bring on that extra, because right now, once he's out of school, they send him into courts, okay? So he's kind of out of there, correct? That's why I want the extra one. So we're never gonna be fully staffed at 7. I think there's always, just in the history of it, there's always been a deputy or 2 that has been sick leave, maternity leave, reassigned for some reason. And so we're also in I believe it's at they have to bring it to the county commission board now for approval for us to take on that part-time summer deputy and pay him the extra. We need them in the summertime, that's when they're available, and we pay for a deputy for 3 months out of the year. So.
Appreciate that, Mark.
We've had our discussions, now we're waiting for the sheriff's department and the board of commissioners to follow up. I just wanted to let everybody know where we're at.
That's great, and probably most of you, or if not all of you, know that Mark retired from the sheriff's department, and there's always been a need. He has brought it to our attention, and he was assigned the responsibility of getting out there and getting it fixed. So we appreciate it, Mark. All right, moving on to the next business order is communications. We have none tonight. Adoption of ordinances, we have nothing tonight. Also under unfinished business, we have none tonight. New business, we have none this evening. Moving on to board comment. Is there anyone on the board who has additional comments or concerns? All right, hearing none, we will now move on to the next business order, which is public comment on agenda or non-agenda items. We will now open up the meeting for public comment on, again, agenda, non-agenda items. Is there anyone here present that would like to address the board? And again, it can be on anything. Yes? Good evening.
Good evening. My name is Susan Foland. I live on Fairbanks Road in the township. I just had a couple of questions, and I know that this has happened in the past, but I don't remember the circumstances and I don't remember the reasoning why. But if you could please explain to me, I realize that you have a quorum, but you don't have all 7 of you tonight. If those had not been tabled or removed from the agenda, those 2 items, and you had gone ahead and had your vote, let's just throw out there, let's say it was a 3-2 vote, would it count because the majority, whatever, or it wouldn't even have counted?
No, we have to have a minimum of 4.
Okay, so if there was not a minimum of 4, and it was off and it didn't really count, would there still be another vote again?
Yes, we postponed it to the next meeting.
Okay,
Yes, everything that was on here that was taken
Yeah.
off, which is, if that's what you were here for,
Yeah.
that has, all we did was.
no, I know it's still gonna happen, I realize
Oh,
that.
okay.
My question is, if it didn't pass tonight, let's say it was 3-2 or whatever, and it didn't pass because it didn't meet the 4 that you needed, so would the vote still happen at a subsequent meeting?
Yes.
It wouldn't be canceled at all?
Correct.
It wouldn't.
Correct.
It wouldn't just like disappear?
Oh,
It would
no,
still-
no, it would have to go
Okay.
to the next meeting, just like it
Okay.
is now.
Okay.
That's why we took the
Right.
advice of the attorney, just to go
Okay,
ahead.
I just wanted to make sure, that's what I thought, but I just wanted to make sure.
Okay, not a problem.
My other comment is, I wanted to know how many of this board know, and this isn't really to pick on Miller Industries, but I wanted to know how many of you know that Miller Industries is not the majority holder in that company? You all know?
Mhm.
Okay, so what I heard in subsequent, or previous meetings, excuse me, they were presented as, obviously they are owners of the company, but they are not the majority holder in that company. I guess it's Tower Arch Capital that is the majority owner of that company.
So-
That's
so
in
the
Utah.
application, if I can stop you, the application is made by, is the entity, I would think.
Correct, which is Miller
The property
Industries.
owner.
Okay,
And although Tom Miller's name appears
The
on
backer.
here, he would need to have the authority from his company,
Right.
Miller Industries,
mhm.
to make this application.
And I understand that, but my question is, in most of the meetings, or all the meetings that I have attended, and this has been discussed, it was implied that they are obviously good people, and I'm not saying anything against them negatively, but when people have come up and talked about it and expressed their concerns, it kept getting, I can't even think of the words that I want to use, implied that they were the majority, not that they were the majority, it wasn't stated that, but that they were good people and that they deserved this because they were upstanding community, or members of the community, and I just don't understand why, if all that were true, and it is, but it was never brought out in a public forum, that they are not the majority holder. So if they get everything that they're asking for, and 2 years from now, or a year from now even, or even 6 months from now, they've already got whatever they wanted, and they've got all these tax breaks and everything like that, they could leave that in this Capital Holding, or Tower Arch Capital place would be full owner, receiving all these benefits that were pressed on the community as Miller Industries and family, and they deserve this. And I'm just wondering why this has never come out in any of the meetings that I've been attending.
Over a year ago, I called, I think it was Tom, I called him out to say, I was told that, you know, through grapevine, that he sold the company, a portion of the company, and he said yes. And, so I think it was exposed, I mean, at the meeting, it wasn't public, I mean, I guess it was public, but, he did admit to the fact that he sold a portion of his company, so.
But to piggyback on my earlier comment, it's the entity
Very
that
true.
is the applicant, and any entity could be sold tomorrow, next week, next year.
That's
We
true.
can't put any parameters.
That's true, but when they're not the majority and it's something else, I realize the application was made for Miller Industries, but it seems like because they aren't the majority holder and they could leave at any time, and they were given all these incentives and tax breaks and things like that.
You're saying they, but the entity was given the tax breaks. Tom and Chad Miller were not given individual tax breaks. The entity is the applicant and the entity is who we consider. And in my mind, I'm not sure it's relevant what their ownership structure is. They're still an entity, right? A
I'm
company
used
that's
to,
gonna
I'm
operate
sorry, I
in our
didn't use the
township.
word entity in front of their name, I'm sorry. But I still think that that should have been public knowledge, it should have been brought to, and it should not have been, or that should have been considered, excuse me, when all these tax breaks and incentives and everything were given to them. Because if they do sell out, which we realize that anybody could, but it was implied that because they were who they are and they reside in the township and everything, that they should get it because they're upstanding citizens. And I really resent the fact that they were given that and they could sell out in 6 months to a Tower Arch Capital holding company that has no interest in Fenton Township at all.
Yeah, I see the concern, but I don't know how we could possibly put any parameters on.
I don't know how you can, when you're supposed to be representing the citizens of Fenton Township, and you know and you have heard multiple times that we are not for this, we are against this.
What I'm saying is we can't put parameters on a decision that's made by this board that would tie them to, we'll give you a tax break, but if you sell within the next 10 years, that tax break goes away. I don't know if that's an option that we have.
Right, you have the option of giving it or not giving it, but once you give it, it's there.
Right, we can't put contingencies
Right,
on it,
but you
correct?
can, yeah, if you give it, then it's
Yeah,
there.
that was
But
my
if
only
you don't give
Okay.
it,
Yeah.
and I think what she's saying is, don't give it, right?
Why are we bending over
Right.
backwards to this company? Why? That's what I want to know. Why are we bending over backwards, giving them everything that they want, everything that they ask for, and Miller Industries or their company could sell out to Tower Arch Capital and they would no longer be part of this township because of Miller Industries. I think that they've been given way too much and not really having, right now they have an arm in the game, so to speak, but that could go away at any time. And it could be to a capital holding company that doesn't care about the township. They have no skin in the game. I'm just a little upset about that. And I feel like the township is not looking after the residents. And I notice you're all quiet. Okay, thank you.
Is there anyone else present that would like to address the board on agenda or non-agenda items? Yes, sir, come on up.
Gary Walker, I live in Fenton here. You need anything else?
No, that's it.
Okay, good enough. I agree with her as far as, you know, why are we giving these companies these, tax breaks? There's no reason for it. But that was just a comment of mine. But my question is, what's with the, who's paying for all these flock cameras that are everywhere? They're up everybody's butt. Why do we got flock cameras here? Okay? What's up with that? Why are we under surveillance state?
Yes, we do. Scott, you wanna?
Yes, we do. And it's a grant funded program.
Yeah.
Can you explain it at all?
I'd rather research it.
Okay,
Because it's a grant for it.
before you talk about it.
Well, I mean, is this something, Jack, is this something that the board needs to approve before
No,
flock cameras are here?
no.
So what can we do about them? I personally am against them. I
I don't think
understand
you
other
can.
law enforcement.
They're here.
That's what I'm asking. I didn't know they were here.
Oh, they're here. I got them down the street from me.
I understand they're in Fenton City.
I pass one every time I leave my house.
Where?
Right down there on North Road. Every time I go leave my house.
That's Fenton City.
Yeah, that's Fenton City,
There's one on North and 23.
north and 23. Well,
That's Fenton City also.
I know that, I agree with Mark, trustee Gopel, in the sense that I feel they're very, I don't like sitting in a stoplight and seeing a camera staring at my face.
Right.
But at the same time, I think we have to look at a balance, and again, I'm not for them, but according to Scott, in the conversation I've had, they're very useful. So if something happens, your house
I
gets
don't care
broken
how
into.
useful they are, we should be surveilled 24 hours a day.
That's
We're Americans, we're free people, and some companies buying our data, taking pictures of back of our cars or where we're going, 24 hours a day. They know when we're going away from home, they know when we're coming home. They're making a thing of it, and they're collecting that data.
Do you have one of these?
I agree, but in all fairness, the phones are doing the same
Yeah,
thing.
I was gonna say, everything that we own nowadays.
Yeah, I've started to leave my phone at home when I leave. When I leave my house, I leave my phone at home now, a lot of times. I find it disturbing that where our country has come in the last 30 years is disturbing. It's very disturbing. I'm not angry, I'm disturbed. It's not your fault, no. But
It's Mark's fault.
it is, it's his fault.
Trust
I
me,
know
It's
it's
Mark's
his
I'm more
fault.
against them than he is, but
Yeah.
it's, now Scott, is there anything you can, reference our last felony arrest this month? Can you, expound on that a little bit as far as use of the flock cameras, I'm saying?
Let's just say if, it's not prosecuted yet.
But it was on Facebook.
Well,
I understand that.
Well, let's just say, for instance, if that did happen, that many people have been caught that way.
There was a predator out of state that apparently a flock camera ID'd him and let us know, and an arrest was made. He was extradited back to the township, back to the county. Now, that being said, that could be all conspiracy.
Yeah, another thing, Gary,
Yeah.
like attorney said, we don't have control. I mean, if the state wants to come in and put flock cameras up in every right of way, we can't stop them. I mean,
But
they're,
we can stop them in Fenton Township.
according to Jack, we can't.
I'm asking.
I don't think you can.
He says no.
So even at Ralston and Jennings, they can throw one up and we have no control over that?
What happens is, they're in the right of ways that somebody has,
Yeah.
and
That we
we
have no
can't control
control.
what
So
goes in
as
the
long
right
as
of
they're in the
way.
county right away, it's beyond our control. And I'm asking, because personally
I'm
I'm
not
against
aware
them,
of
but I also
anybody-
understand that we
Yeah,
have
I'm not aware
limited.
of anybody that's pushed that issue to stop it in a municipality, but I don't think you can stop it. I mean, it's just like they have cameras that control the traffic
I
lights
understand.
and whatnot.
I mean, I know we got some people in DC that are against it.
Well, we don't have, we're so far removed from there, buddy.
I know
We're
that.
4 levels of government away from them.
I just
Yeah,
wanted
I'm
to get, I just wanted to get
Gary,
a
I'm with you,
feel,
but-
I wanted to get a feel on people's opinion
I think
on
they suck.
what, you know,
That's the Patriot Act, it's like, you're gonna give up some
Yeah,
of your.
that was a
some of
big,
your,
I don't even wanna talk about the Patriot
Yeah,
Act.
well, it's the same thing,
Yeah.
you're giving up a little bit of your
I'm not giving up
privacy
nothing, I
for
don't wanna give up
security.
anything.
Same, I understand.
Anyways, I just wanted to get a feel on that. Now, I was wondering about the data centers that are wanting to go up everywhere.
Not here, we've got a moratorium.
We already got a moratorium on it, so
Nothing's
we're
happening.
waiting for the state to
Thank
kind
you.
of do things, what they're gonna do, because, again, the state can come in and tell us that we have to put data centers in here, where we're just kinda waiting, but right now, this board made a decision, it was unanimous, that we put a moratorium on
Well-
it. They will not be coming here, at this point,
Right,
but we don't know what's gonna happen.
but I mean, they'll need huge facilities, right? A data center with huge facilities, right?
Well, the hyper ones, they're all different sizes.
Right, and then, they need electricity, they'll need water, right? They've been telling us for my whole life saying, we're using too much water, we gotta cut back, we gotta cut back, we gotta cut back, we gotta cut back on electricity, cut back on our water usage. Then you wanna bring in some huge data center that's gonna blow our electricity, draw so much electricity that I'm not even sure how I wanna phrase it.
Gary, I promise you, we will do what we can at this level to stop whatever we can. How's that?
Yeah, the board has no taste for it. Again, I think that if you read on technology, what's happening out there right now, Gary, especially the Wall Street had a good article on it about 2 weeks ago, that they're already talking about data centers now. They're gonna make them a lot smaller footprints, because if we have 10 data centers, it's easy for someone that would like to be an adversary of the United States to take out 10 data centers. Whereas if we have 1,000 of them, but also, if you've been watching, with the new IPO for Elon Musk, he's talking about the best place to build data centers is in space. So we probably won't even, what we see now, like cell towers are gonna be totally obsolete in a couple of years. We've got 1 billion of them sitting around, and, everybody worried about those because we were all gonna die of cancer and things like that. Technology is moving at such a pace with AI that, Gary, I really think that they will be putting them up in space before we have to worry about a data center being here. In fact, number one, we don't even have the land for it. So, you don't have to worry about it.
I'm concerned with everybody's, freedom and liberty, regardless of who you are, and being surveilled. That makes people crazy. It does. That messes with people's minds. Our government is watching everything we do. I'm glad I have enough brains to understand that, because it would probably make me crazy. It just makes me upset because I understand it. Now, can you guys give me a show of hands that you'll do the best you can?
I would suggest more not to.
Yeah, I was gonna say, we can't do that.
You'll do everything you can? Okay, so you're saying, I can tell you this, but I could be lying to you?
We've already voted on it.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
we have a moratorium.
Yeah, we have a moratorium. We just said, we got a total moratorium on it. So nothing's happening right now, but it doesn't, I'm not gonna lie to you either. It's not in our control. Just like right now, the state, under the current administration, is trying to take away all of our zoning rights. So you couldn't even come here and be upset about Miller. They're just gonna come in and just take over everything. Right down to tiny houses can be put everywhere.
Okay.
Bill in the House and the Senate, look it up.
Okay.
It's a lot like a trail camera that you snuck on somebody else's yard and put it in.
Okay.
All right. Anything else?
These are things I was concerned about.
No problem. Thanks for coming tonight. Anybody else that would like to address the board? Yes, ma'am. All we need is your name.
Sandy Williams?
Sandy?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm concerned about a couple of things. Miller Industries, what is their industry? What are they producing?
Tom here?
I didn't hear
I
the
saw
question.
Tom walk in.
He left
Oh, he left?
when we didn't vote.
I have no idea they have such a huge footprint. What do they need that space for?
Is there somebody on Zoom that could address her question?
They do like steel fabrication, they also produce some of the generators and the They make components for AI.
I've been there, and I did a tour with the governor, but I'm not an expert on what they do, and I would certainly not want to tell anybody here in this meeting what they do. I
So
mean,
I will simply tell you what their website says is through 4 divisions, Miller Industries offers custom steel fabrication, air handling units, modular systems, and specialty HVAC products.
They have very few employees, though, isn't that correct? Oh, a couple hundred? Okay, that sort of more justifies their space that they're taking up. I also, beyond that, I'm concerned about the beach area out front. And I happened to be up in the Upper Peninsula and Iron River a few weeks ago. And I know there was questions about how to control the geese droppings, and up there they have swans that are, they look very lifelike. And they float them out on the lake, and they haven't had a problem with geese.
we have a light, just to interrupt you, just for that. It was brought to the board about a month ago, and I was premature because Mike and I go out and we look out my office. We have seen no geese. And it's just a simple light. I think I seen you on.
Yes.
And you stick it on your property, and you don't see anything. We have one, if you want, when you're walking out the front door, as you see the flag, there's one just sitting there. And I have not seen anything on that beach. Not only that, but I don't think I've seen, not just geese, but I haven't really seen anything with a wing on it. So I don't know. I heard they only work on geese, but I haven't seen ducks up on doing any excrement or anything on our beach. And it's a simple, very inexpensive light that people can buy. Actually, I think you bought one for your yard?
I did buy one probably 4 days ago. I planted it in my yard, and it works in the evening, okay? Because what happens, geese, when they sleep with their eyes open. And so it irritates them, so they kind of take off. So I picked up this other device. It's a sound device. It's just calling for geese that, lets them know that there's problems in the area, don't come in the area. And I put that out, and today I received a photograph from my significant others showing there's geese on the property. So,
Oh, okay.
So,
I was a little premature.
But in the evening, I will say this, in the evening, I walked out to the point and I see no geese in the evening, and that's where they usually plant is in our, because I have a huge geese problem. I mean, it's just been the last 25 years, just nothing but a problem.
Yeah, it's not, I'm not on the water myself.
Sure.
I'm just, I thought that the township was trying to control it with plants.
We were going to do that, and then somebody came to us, I think it was the Lake Fenton property owners, that came to us with a plant type of vegetative, using vegetation, but then I think.
There was the bid that was put out, and it's still, the park board still has to review those.
Right, but we decided to go with this light. And again, I'm looking out there every day. I'm blessed in the sense that my office is right upstairs, and I get to look down. Now, maybe because we've been the weather's been extremely warm, so the beach is packed. Maybe that's why I'm not seeing a lot of waterfowl, so maybe we'll see what happens in the fall, but it's sure been different to me. I was hoping it was really gonna work because it's very inexpensive enough that most people that are riparians could afford to put one on their property.
Well, good. If that's working, then the inflatables, they were very lifelike, and then they anchored them out in the water, and we saw a couple of swans come in, and when they saw the imposters, they took off right away. And so they seem to be effective that way too, as another option for taking care of the excrement. But I also, speaking of excrement, I'm wondering, are the porta potties still out and that being used instead of bathrooms?
Yes.
Why? If we're gonna improve and make recreation a real priority. Why are we using porta potties for years rather than opening up the bathrooms that were originally,
The original bathrooms were located underneath here.
Yeah.
And Tom could probably tell you this story better than I. I've been on the lake for 4 generations. I remember using those. I think there was
Yeah.
an issue with, there's a lot of young people here, things like that. So, and Tom, I don't want to misspeak. Why did we really stop using those bathrooms? Just condition?
They couldn't keep, the moisture was rusting everything out. So they shut it down.
I did talk to Tom about getting some very fancy ones, like when you go to a fancy wedding, but they're very expensive. And I understand.
Fancy porta potties?
Huh?
Fancy porta potties, is that what
You've never seen them? Like at the Buick Open or whatever? Oh, no. They look nicer than most people's high-end $2 million home bathrooms.
Dude,
But they're on a trailer,
uh-huh,
yeah.
But with-
But we couldn't afford them.
okay. Well, when little kids go in there, they're afraid because it's dark and, it just, so
But their
they
parents
pee
are
in the
usually-
water instead, and that's not so good, so. That's all I wanted to discuss, those
Not a
two
problem.
issues, so,
Thank you for coming.
okay.
All right. Anybody else here that is present that would like to address the board on agenda, non-agenda? Come on up.
Jeff Packard.
How you doing, Jeff?
Torrey Road. I'm good. I was here at the last meeting, a couple of comments. I won't take long because I don't want to keep us here till
No.
9 o'clock. One comment I made was about the noise that we were hearing at 4 o'clock in the morning from Miller Industries. Talked to Tom about it. Tom is not here any longer. They corrected that. I have not heard that noise since. He thought it was their scrap metal being dropped into a dumpster, and he told us that he could correct that right away. It's been taken care of. We're very thankful for that. One thing that hasn't happened that I had a problem with was the water runoff. And I talked to you about it, Vince. I emailed you. Melissa was very quick at getting back to me from Lawrence Engineering. She came out, looked at it. Yes, there's a definite problem, and it had to do with how the ditch was constructed when they put in the culvert underneath North Park Boulevard.
Let me just jump in, because I
Sure.
know the whole story, because I talked to Melissa, she talked to the county, and then she called me back and said that Miller, and I think she was talking to Tom, I think at the time, said, we've got people here. From what my understanding is, and being on record with this, is that the pitch is a 3-degree pitch. So the pitch, in her opinion, but it was approved by the county. So everything that they did was approved by the county, checked off and said they did it correct. However, it was still causing you a problem.
Right.
So I talked to Melissa and I said, well, if it's still causing him a problem, then the county's wrong or something's happening. She said, well, I'll tell you what, let me talk to Kevin at Roach and Johnson. The next day, from what I understand, they were out there, but the changes that Melissa's going to recommend still has to go through the county. So we are on it,
Okay.
and it hopefully will be, I can't guarantee it.
Okay, that wasn't communicated to me. I mean, she talked to me and she told me that, yeah, it wasn't the road commission that did the work. It was the contractor for Miller that did it. They
Correct.
would come out and get it
They were
taken
gonna
care
do
of.
something
But
to
there's-
change the pitch to 7
They
or
were gonna
something.
change the pitch and
Yes.
take it out, but it's not been done. Nothing's been done since they
I
viewed it.
think it has to go through the county, and please don't hold me to that, but I will
Okay.
find out from Melissa. Actually, Melissa, you're online. Could you,
Yeah, I thought they were already out there, so I'll check on that tomorrow.
okay, did I tell that story correctly?
We don't need the county, they're gonna go out there, they just need to shoot the elevation between the outlet to the ditch and the pipe that crosses Torrey Road and make sure there's enough fall, because there's only it's less than 0.5% sloped, which is an extremely small slope, so once they verify that they do have the fall, they'll clean out that ditch and smooth it out as best they can so there's not water pooling on the parcel that is right directly next to the Miller Industries entrance.
Okay, so Melissa, just to get affirmation right now that they're willing to do whatever is necessary to make sure it
Yes.
doesn't. Okay,
Yes.
sorry about that. I
Melissa,
had-
thank you. You were really prompt. I appreciate it.
Yeah, just give me
Yes.
a call anytime. I
Okay.
didn't realize they hadn't been out there. I do
No.
know they were off for
Yeah, nothing's
for
been
the
done.
4th, but, I can check on that
Yeah,
tomorrow.
I'm still mowing my ditch in Waders.
Well, I thought it was already done,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
shame on me.
One other comment I had, we got this survey.
Mhm.
It would be nice if we could read the inset. Mark, can you take a look at this?
Oh, okay.
Can you read that inset down there?
I could read it.
No.
No.
You know, no, listen, I knew it was happening, I talked to Mike, and I'm gonna be 100% upfront. I didn't see it before it went out the door, and I wish I would have
Yeah.
seen it before it went out the door, because when Sharon and I received it, we both received a copy of it. She had questions, and I will get with Mike that it's already been sent out.
Yeah.
I wish I would have got my eyes on it before it went out.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, because the piece that's kind of critical on here is to see what the plan is. You can't read it.
Is a QR code that goes online, bring it up in better detail?
I
I'll
did
tell
not
you
go
what
to
we
the QR
can do,
code. I did
is
not
we
go to
will
QR
make
code.
sure that that QR code, so as we're out there talking to people, I will make sure that QR code does whatever needs to do to make sure that it's better, that
Okay.
people can understand
Okay,
it.
thank you.
Yep,
Thank
no
you.
problem.
Now, that being said, though, and it's a valid point, but you can still, on the back of it, it's still, what do you wish for the town? I mean,
Absolutely.
you don't need to be able to read it to tell us, please spell these out, what you would like to see the town center to look like.
Yeah, you can read the back of it
Yeah,
fine,
so-
but it's kind of unclear as to, as to where we're talking about on here.
Actually, the QR code, she just looked it up on her phone, it is.
You can bring it up and you can expand it.
You can expand it? Because I went online on my laptop, and it was still, once I expanded it, then it was too pixely to read.
Too grainy.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
it's probably,
This is working great on my phone.
Okay, I didn't do the QR,
Yeah.
my mistake. Thank you.
Yep, no problem. All right, yes, ma'am, but you do have to come up. Good evening.
It's on.
Your name?
Sandra Wood.
Sandra?
So we got that, I got that. My husband didn't get one, but I did. But didn't know exactly what we were, all of the blue is really what we're talking about, correct? The blue that was on that?
Yes.
But blue is the town center district.
Yes.
Yes, the light blue.
I'm just looking over to Mike just to make sure.
However, didn't understand that. Either I didn't read it right, or whatever. I didn't understand. I thought we were still talking the Thompson Road area. I realize that's sort of Thompson Road, but it comes down to the school. And the other thing is QR code. Well, people don't do QR codes. You know, I get most of my information from Facebook. They had that on there, and it wasn't until I read that I could understand what was sent out. I don't know.
Your point's good, and it's something that I've thought about coming to the board. Mike and I have talked about it. I think that this township is at a point where we need to disseminate information. I know that things are printed in the Tri-County Times. I talk to probably, it doesn't sound like a lot, but if you extrapolate it over a year, it's a lot, maybe 15, 20 people. Whether I'm sitting in a restaurant and they'll come up to me, supervisor, and they'll start talking to me. And they say, you know, we do a newsletter, but it's online. And for the last 5 years, we've done a great job on social media. But you're right, a lot of people get their social media from Facebook, which isn't always factual. And because you read something on, Facebook, and it gets people stirred up. And then what happens is you find out all of it's untrue. But it's got so many people worked up.
Or a portion.
Huh?
Just a portion.
Or right. But the point is like, and I'm gonna give you a quick analogy. Somebody got on and said, Fenton Township, the taxes are going crazy out in Fenton Township. I bought my house in 2019, and 10 people got on there and just started saying, oh, I know taxes are bad, bad, bad. Well, there's a piece of paper that shows where the tax is. What we get is nothing. We don't assess taxes on anybody. So, but a guy got on and he goes, well, you're my neighbor, and by the way, you bought the house in 2019, so everybody knows when they look at their SEV, it's capped. And then when she bought the house, that cap, which was, let's say 100, went to 400. So but what I noticed from that string, and I found out it was from a guy from the gym, he said, after he told her the truth and what had happened, nobody commented on the truth. They just kept going down and writing the bad about, I know the taxes are crazy. So, but my point is that I think the board needs to come to a realization, we're gonna have to spend a couple $1,000s every quarter or more to disseminate information to our residents. We have a lot of things going on, there's a lot of misinformation, there's a lot of truth, but I think that if we put out something that's ours, we can address issues, talk about issues, and not send out one mailer every year.
And I do appreciate how quickly you put that together, because I've been coming to the meetings. I try not to say anything because I'm not that well versed on everything.
Well, you're doing a good job
but
tonight.
those are some of our concerns. So can we pick up a different one, since I filled mine out before I knew what
Pick up another.
all the legend was?
Oh,
Do you
another
have
copy?
another
Absolutely,
copy?
I'm sure.
Okay.
You mean
And-
mail you one? Probably
No,
not, but you can get one here before you leave.
No, I'll pick one up, but also I have one more comment. Thank you for the beach. We used it this week, my grandkids and I, and actually great-grandkids, and
Well, this board put, just not to interrupt, but this board agreed to we put sand out there, we've been doing everything we can. If you notice the back of the building, what it looks like,
Absolutely.
this board has been very generous to make sure
Yep,
that the
yep.
residents can use it.
and I appreciate that. I do have one comment. The steps going up the slide, there's some peeling material and it's rusty. I have a 3-year-old and, you know, I worry about her getting cut on that. She hasn't. So, thank
Megan?
you.
Megan's on it. No problem, have a great night. Anybody else here that would like to address the board?
I got one more
Yes,
thing.
yes.
As far as, what do you call it, what do you call it with the information?
Disinformation.
Not the disinformation, I mean, how you
Disseminate.
disseminate.
disseminate
Thank you.
information.
It was right here, it wouldn't come out. You could, I don't know how difficult it would be, but I mean, I really don't email anymore, I don't do any of that kind of stuff. I really just kind of quit. But, you know, what about people requesting, let's say, you know, if people come in and say, look, I would like a mailer. And set something up so you could request a mailer, and those people get a mailer. Make a, you know, people can opt in for a mailer, or they could opt in for this type of information. And
The board would still have to approve a budget, which I would like to get approval from the board to do that. But we could set up our social media, because I do a monthly newsletter every month, but it's only digital, because it doesn't
Right.
cost the township residents the money.
I
But it
get
does
that.
require you to have a phone,
Right.
you know, a smartphone or an internet to do that. I think we should be disseminating information in print. You know, they say it's archaic, but I think that this community would appreciate it, and I agree with you. But
I
we
would
could
li- I
probably
would
set
like-
it up
I
where
would like
somebody
to-
now could do that, where we could just print out.
They are printed at the front desk. in
Oh,
print
yeah,
form.
actually, they are printed at the front desk. We take our monthly newsletter and print it, and it's sitting there.
Where at?
Right at the
Right.
counter where you pay your
Right.
bill.
Yep.
Oh, right at the window?
Yep.
Oh, really?
I knew
So
that,
you can
thank
just-
you, thank you. Yes,
And how often does that go out?
once a month.
Once a month?
And I try to be as inclusive as possible. And each department head puts stuff in there, so, and if that's something that people really want, and we can disseminate correct information, we will put the money into it to do it right, and we can expand on it. I think it's a great idea.
I was unaware that you guys did that here. So, I mean, that's.
We've been
that's
doing that
nice.
for 5 years.
Yeah. I haven't been in much in probably 6 years.
Yeah.
So, well, thank you for that.
No, it's
I
no
just
problem.
had, I was sitting here and I got a little brain fart.
That's no problem.
All right, thank you.
Anybody else here that would like to address the, yes? Go ahead. No, she's already spoke. We can pull her up next. Go ahead.
Mine's real quick.
No problem.
The survey, it's, when is that due back by? I did not see a date on the survey.
August 7th.
August 7th, thank you. And are you getting responses back?
We got 500 so far.
Perfect. Okay, thank you.
500 out of, I don't know, 15,000, whatever, whatever that number is. I don't know.
We've still got a month to go though, hey.
Oh, yeah.
I'll take, we want, this tells us the direction you want this to go, and, we try to, hopefully we try to do your wishes, so. 500 is great, but if we got another month, tell everybody. The only way we know what the people want is to let us know. That's a great way to do it.
And I think we should do it more often too, especially when we have projects that are planned, because it's good news, but it gives people, if we do it early enough, like, I think we have to, and I've talked to Mike, I've talked to everybody in the staff, we have to do our bridge is gonna be upgraded, and it's going to cause transportation issues, but we need to start talking about it right now, to people and let them know that it's going to be coming up. And I think that doing that in a form where we're going out and letting our residents know on at least an every other month basis, it's not that expensive, and we could touch almost everything and make sure that what's coming out of the township office is factual. And I think that's very important. And like Trustee Gopel said, when we send something out, I think the last one we did, Mike, and I guess it was like 300 and some, we're already at 500, we got a month to go. And, like he said, the information that we get, the more people that respond. But, I wanted to say this for a while, and I'm just gonna say it, we got a small group here, and I wish it was larger, but there are gonna be times that the board is gonna have to make a decision that not everyone is gonna like. And I'm just gonna give you an analogy, and don't compare it to anything, because the analogy could change. Have a good, huh?
I said you can use me as an analogy.
No, I was at the gym, and somebody came up to me and said, "Man, you got a tough job. I see the stuff that's on social media." And, but, he told me a few things, and I was sitting there working out, and I thought about it, and I thought, we try to establish what this township residents want, what they want. It's hard to do, because when I'm out talking to people, maybe they just tell me, they BS me because they say they like the direction. They may talk to Mark and say, I hate it. But the analogy I kind of thought of was Silver Lake, the beach, or take our own access on Lake Fenton. I don't know if anybody lives here is a riparian. But let's say that we didn't have that access. There was no access to Lake Fenton. The state comes in and says, you know what, you got to put an access somewhere. It's what we require. So the board looks at everything and says, well, like the decision, we put the access. We're going to put it on Lake Fenton, right where it's at, because we got the land, we're going to do it. As someone that's lived here for 4 decades, I can tell you there's 800, and I asked Julia, there's 864 houses. I think that's pretty close. I didn't bring it with me because I was going to talk about it tonight. There's going to be 864 people sitting in this building, outside, and probably at my front house saying, don't you think about it. So, if we had 860 people, you would sit as a board member and go, my God, this is exactly what the township wants. No, I bet if I actually took a survey, the 860 that showed up, they're directly affected. Can you imagine the people that live by that access? Every morning, 80 boats revving their engines at dusk. Can you imagine living there? No. But I thought about it when I was working out, and I thought, but I bet if I talked to most of the residents, the majority of the residents probably would say, yeah, I would like to have access to that lake. I would like to be able to take my grandchildren fishing. not just the people that have riparian rights and the rich people on Lake Fenton. So I'm not gonna poll the board on what they would vote, but I can tell you how I would vote. 800 people would be really mad at me. But guess what? I probably would vote to put the access there. Look at the beach on Silver Lake. 263 cars? Can you imagine living next to that beach with kids yelling all day long, ruining your summer? But was it the right thing to do? Was it the right thing to put the beach there? What about the people that live on both sides of this beach? If I was to ask right now, we didn't have the beach, and I said, why do they put the beach there? I can guarantee you 15 people, including the bar next door, is gonna say absolutely not. They're gonna be here every day. Every meeting we have. So how do we, as a board, determine what everybody wants? And it goes back to Mark. Participate, fill out the forms, tell us what you want. But someday you have to trust the board you elected us. Everybody that's here elected us to make decisions. You may not always like the decisions, but you have to trust that we all love the township. And we're gonna try to do the best we can and make the right decisions. There's always gonna be somebody pissed off, no matter what decision we make. And maybe my analogies weren't the best, but I think if I surveyed 16 or 17,000 people in Fenton and asked them about that beach on Silver Lake, they would say it was a good decision. So, we can sit and listen to people talk bad about us or yell at us or say what we're doing is wrong. I think our job is to look out for everyone, and the way we can do that is for you to participate in the survey and for us to communicate to you the things that we're doing in the township to make sure that people understand what we're doing. But remember, no matter what is an elected official, over the next couple of years, we're going to make a decision that you don't like. The 2 people that were here today that don't want anything to do with what the other 9 people did, the board has an obligation to move forward. So I know how you guys feel, and it makes me feel bad because I go home and sit with Sharon, and I feel bad because people are here thinking we're making decisions to ruin people's lives. We're not. At least I'm not. So someday there may be 600 people sitting in here upset because we're going to put an access on Lake Fenton, but still not the majority. So that's all I have to say. Anybody else would like to address the board? Agenda or non-agenda items? Yes, sir. You didn't like my analogy.
No, it's a good analogy. I just wanted to mention, obviously, in regards to Miller Industries, first off, not against the expansion of it. My thing is doing it in the correct fashion. I think most people here believe that the roads can't handle the additional traffic that's going to be generated from it. And I just wanted to say, it just seems very presumptuous to pretty much already have the groundwork laid on that building before you guys have even approved it. And the fact that you guys have the right to stop work. I mean, you do. You're the board, like.
No, we don't. I don't think we do.
So somebody.
He owns the land, he can probably do what he wants to do.
No, he cannot. You can't just, he's starting to build his product on that property that it's not approved for.
Mike?
He's just moving the dirt.
He's not. He's laid down a ton of rock. He's put down his whole foundation.
There's no foundation.
Well, no, not.
Just moving dirt.
Correct. But they've also moved, there's a ton of rock going on there right now. They've leveled the entire thing out, and it's clear that it is for the build out of that building. And I just feel that it's not correct to do until the actual zoning has been approved for it, so.
I wouldn't disagree with you.
Just wanted to say my piece. And I think most people that would agree with me, if I tried to do something at my house and didn't have approval to start, you'd get shut down.
Did we not, and again, I'm looking at all the boards.
Well, the way that they described it.
No, hold on just one second. Did we not ask Tom?
It's a county permit.
Oh, it's county permit?
Has a
Okay.
Tom explained it, saying that basically all he was doing was drainage work.
Yep,
That's
but
a bunch of,
he has went beyond moving dirt.
correct,
He's created a foundation.
correct.
He has steel and beams and stuff laying there next.
He's gone way beyond what he should be before having this approval. Factual.
Pardon me, I've been trying to keep shut up all way.
You're doing good, Bob.
I appreciate it. Anything else?
Nope, that was it.
All right.
What
Thank
was your
you.
name, sir? Okay.
Oh, boy.
Okay, is there anybody else here, present, that would like to address the board on agenda or non-agenda items? All right, hearing none, I will move to Zoom. Is there anyone that is attending tonight via Zoom that would like to address the board on any subject? How's that? Just unmute, wave your hand. I got you. Okay, if you're unmuted, go ahead and start talking.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, I have a question. Actually, I think a lady came up and asked you a question and wanted to know from the board what Miller Industry did, and not one person on the board could tell them. How can you permit a company to come in and not know what they're doing?
I don't think Christine kind of actually answered that, but I don't think anyone up here is qualified. Like I said, I've been in the factory, I know what they're producing, but I'm not qualified to stand here and try to tell you what each part that they're doing. I don't think anyone here is, but she did take a look at their website, and I think all of that information would be on their website, whatever they're, because
Okay.
if they're building it, they're trying to sell it.
I know what they're doing because I've been on their website, but I'm asking the board, you approved 3 buildings over there and no one knew what they were doing. How can you approve something when you don't even know what they're doing?
That's not something you can regulate. You can regulate the building, but if they're not breaking some law, you cannot regulate what they do inside.
I'm
that
not
building.
asking you to regulate, I'm asking you what they're doing. What if maybe they're making drugs over there, we don't know what they're doing. I know what they are doing, but you guys didn't know that, is what I'm hearing.
No,
And
that's
I
not
guess-
what we were saying, and I don't mean to interrupt, but that's not what we were saying.
Okay.
What I was saying is that I've been there, I was there on 2 tours, I've been through the building, I've watched them manufacture, I know what they're doing.
Okay,
But
what
I'm
are
not, I don't
they
think I'm
manufacturing?
qualified to answer for them, the
Do you know what
specifics.
they're manufacturing?
Yes, HVAC systems, I think
AI
generators,
systems, yes,
yeah.
with the company that's backing them, absolutely, I know what they're doing. Okay, so how many more buildings are you gonna approve for them?
According to Tom, that he has no interest in building any more buildings here. He is looking, because I guess they ship all over the country.
Yes, they
Because
do.
I told him I was not interested in having another building here, and I think it would be tough to get through this board. He said he has no intention of building another building, that he is looking at other states because he ships a lot to the West Coast, so he's gonna be looking at places to build buildings similar to what he has here in different parts of the country.
Well, the people that are backing him, that's what they do, yes. That's exactly what they do.
So,
Again, I have to agree with the man in previous that just spoke, they're over there building something.
so
And if they don't have the approval yet,
Yeah,
how can they be doing that?
if I could just add, I'm not going to address that comment because I think we all are not happy with what's going on over there. However, I think it needs to be known by the public that we as a board, and Mike Deem could expand on this as the administrator, and for the planning commission, we have an obligation to review every application that comes before us. So anyone can make an application to the township and it gets reviewed through different stages, but we have an obligation to do that. So even if Miller Industries came and, and submitted an additional application, we would have to move it through the process and consider it. Now, whether or not we approve or deny it depends on many different parameters, but we have an obligation to review every application that's submitted.
Okay. So is there will there be a stop, an order to stop work until it is approved?
I can't answer,
Who puts that?
we do
I mean,
have
if
it-
they're building, how can they build without a building permit?
Are you from Miller Industries? Oh, you're from
Pardon me?
Roach and Johnson? I knew that, I just wanted to make sure.
Okay, I'm a Fenton Township resident as well, but my name's Alexa Hofstra. So Miller Industries and Rhodes and Johnson has a soil erosion permit, which allows them to move dirt on the property without any sort of plan. They own that property and they can move the dirt. As long as they don't penetrate the dirt, they're fine, and they have the right to do so. Anybody who has a soil erosion permit can do that. So they're not breaking any laws, they're not doing anything they're not supposed to. Chad and Tom both agreed at the last meeting that the optics don't look great. They acknowledge that, but they are in their legal right to do what they're doing currently.
You're stating that if they don't get approved, they're gonna put that land back to exactly how it was.
They don't have to put it back. They own that land and they can do whatever they want with it.
I'm sure they can't have stacks of dirt sitting there like it is.
They can. They can.
Can they? I don't know.
It's,
I don't
I-
believe they can.
I don't know, honestly, I can get an answer for you, but I honestly don't know. I haven't seen the piles of dirt.
they're legally allowed to move the dirt. That's all that's happening. There's no other work happening other than the dirt moving.
You should go over there tomorrow and look.
I was there today.
Well, I'll show you the pictures.
I have them on my phone. I have drone photos, I
I
have
don't wanna
everything.
argue with you.
Okay.
But the third building has not been approved.
Agreed, yes. We're
Okay?
all on the same
I
page.
just wanna make sure that lady knows and other people know. Will it get approved
We don't know. We don't know.
when no, I gotta stop.
Thank you very much for coming up and answering that, because I didn't know how to answer it.
Sure, you're welcome.
Is there anything else that you would like to
I'm
address?
good, thank you.
You're still, yeah, you said you're still there. Is there something else you'd like to address the board on?
No, I'm good, thank you.
Okay, thank you. All right, is there anyone else on Zoom that would like to address the board on agenda or non-agenda items? All right, hearing none, it is now 8:31 PM. If there's nothing else, I say good night, and the meeting's adjourned. Thank you, everyone, for coming. Appreciate it. And I will check with Melissa tomorrow